welcome you all to the VTech app. In this video, we have a fundamental concept of the Coulomb's law. Before I have to start this topic, we have a prerequisite of the like and unlike charges. Okay, so let me see the like charges and unlike charges. They are like this. What is the concept behind this one means like charges will repel each other, whereas unlike charges will attract to each other. That is the basic concept behind the Coulomb's law. Okay, so the first point it is an experimental law. The practically it has verified the results. Okay, for how you find the force on one point charge due to another point charge. It is formulated 1785 by Charles Augustin de Coulomb. He is a French colonel and he has proposed the concept at the time of 1785, right? And it is mainly useful to find the force on one point charge due to another point charge. Forget about what kind of the sign it is having. Maybe it is applicable for both the positive as well as the negative charges also, right? Yeah, this expression already we know from the basic your intermediate, and we are familiar about this expression, right? May I know that expression? F is equal to the products Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square. Can I tell you in the word form, the force of attraction or repulsion between 2 point charges is equal to the products of the magnitudes and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. That is the statement of Coulomb's law. And here let me see, there is a 2 point charges, say Q1 and Q2, they are separated by some distance called as the R. Up to now, this is a very basic part to understand about the Coulomb's law, but in our particular subject, it is very important to know about the vector form. So that is very important for exam. It is the vector form of Coulomb's law, right? Let me see the diagram now, where I have the 2 point charges, say Q1 and Q2. Here let me have the 2 point charges, say Q1 and Q2. They are separated by some distance, and this position vector we called as R12, and it is a vector. Okay, then here it is the origin. The distance from origin to the point Q1, it is given by R1, as well as from origin to Q2, the distance it is given by R2 itself. It is the given information from the diagram itself. And F21, it is nothing but the force on Q1 due to the Q2, means the force on the first charge due to the second charge. Similarly, F12, which mean the force on the second charge due to the first charge. Okay, so let me go for the derivation now. Consider the 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 with that position vectors. They are R1 and R2, right? And here I'm able to find out what is the force on Q1 due to Q2. What is that expression there? F21. The force on first due to the second charge F21 is equal to, actually the formula it is Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Up to now we are very familiar because the force expression already we know, but force is a vector. It is represented by the magnitude as well as direction, right? Here AR12 it is called the direction, right? And can you tell me what is the AR12 there? AR12 is a unit vector which is passing through the vector R12, right? Okay, so here AR12 unit vector is equal to R12 by mod of R12. This is a very popular expression regarding the unit vector, right? Okay, so how can you do this, the R12 now? I want to be find out R12. Look at that, the diagram there. R12 is calculated from the actually the subtraction. Here R2 is the position vector and R1 is the position vector, right? R12, it is nothing but the subtraction of the position vector. So R2 minus R1. Okay, suppose if I want to do the modulus of R12, it is nothing but, what is a modulus? Is nothing but magnitude. So modulus of this value, which gives R again, nothing but R is nothing but a distance vector. Already we know. Okay, so can I substitute all the values on that expression now? So here it is, F21 is equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square into, in place of AR12 we write like this, R12, which mean R2 minus R1 by mod of R1, because R is equal to mod of R2 minus R1. It's a magnitude actually, right? Okay, so it is nothing but replaced by this value by R2 minus R1. Finally, F21 is equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into R2 minus R1 by R2 minus R1 mod whole cube, and it is the force on the first charge due to the second charge. Similarly, I am asking to you how to find the force on second charge due to the first charge. Okay, so similarly, can I have this answer? The force on Q2 due to Q1, it is given by F12 is equal to, where you find the difference, magnitude is the same, but look at this, this is R2 minus R1, whereas this is R1 minus R2, right? Okay, R1 minus R2 by mod of R1 minus R2 whole cube. This is the force expression, the vector form of Coulomb's law. Can I make one or two important conclusions of this Coulomb's law? They are, F21 is equal to minus F12. What is the meaning of that? The two forces magnitude is same, but they are differed in the direction, right? Okay, the force is equal in magnitude but opposite in polarity, that is called the direction, right? There is a one important conclusion on Coulomb's law. And I have the second. What is that? For making this experiment, make sure Q1 Q2 must be static, means their entire operation Q1 Q2 maintained at constant, otherwise the results may vary, right? If Q1 may vary, then definitely the force is also different answer we are getting, right? That is about the important conclusions of that, the Coulomb's law, right? Coming to the one more special case of this, the force due to n number of charges. The Coulomb's law is very important to find the force, no doubt, but I am not restricting the Coulomb's law for only 2-point charges. Accepted? Because when you work on the real time, you have to work on the multiple charges also, right? Not only two. Up to now, your knowledge is only for the 2-point charges. If I extended my knowledge to more than 2-point charges, how can you calculate the force expression, right? Let me see. If there are more than 2 charges, we will use the superposition principle to find the force on a particular charge. Look at the diagram I have. Let us take, I have the n charges, Q1, Q2 and so on Qn. These are the n number of charges. With the position vectors I have R1, R2 and Rn. Okay, so my goal is I want to find out the force at Q due to all these charges, right? That is my goal actually. I want to find out the force on Q due to all n number of charges. Okay, so make sure I want to apply the superposition principle. What is the superposition principle? The total force is obtained by add all individual forces, right? Okay, it's a sum of individual forces which gives the total force. Then what is the force on Q due to all number of charges? Because of the superposition principle, we say F is equal to F1 plus F2 and so on plus Fn. Means n number of charges are already there. I can find out that. Yeah, let you tell me what is a F1? Based on that expression, you already know here it is a Q1 Q2, but the first charge here is Q only, na? That's why it is a Q into Q1 of R minus R1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into mod of R minus R1 whole cube plus This is for the first force. This is for the second force. Q2 into R minus R2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into R minus R2 whole cube plus and so on, plus finally this is for n number of charges. That means QQn by this one. Okay, so finally we see the total force F is equal to, take some common terms from the entire expression, Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, take out from the summation K is equal to 1 to n of Qk into R minus Rk by R minus Rk whole cube. This is the generalized expression for Coulomb's law for that n number of charges. It is applicable for any kind of charge you are having. Suppose n is equal to 2, that is meant for 2 charges. N is equal to 3, that is meant for 3 charges. Like that we can find out all the individual charges, right? Up to now here we have calculated the Coulomb's law for 2-point charges as well as n number of charges too. Okay, so based on that the concept we know on the Coulomb's law, let me discuss one problem. Okay, very important problem for exam point of view. 2-point charges, 1 millicoulomb minus 2 millicoulomb. Make sure what the kind of the charges they are. They are unlike charges. And what is the force? There is attraction between that 2-point charges, right? Are located at the points 3, 2, minus 1 is a 1 point, minus 1, minus 1, 4 respectively. Calculate the electric force on a 10 nanocoulomb charge located at point 0, 3 and 1. That is a point, right? Okay, so how many charges we have? The 2 charges. Let me have the solution. Given that Q1 is equal to 1 millicoulomb, can you tell me 1 millicoulomb is equal to 10 power minus 3 coulombs, right? 10 power minus 3, and 2 millicoulomb means 2 into 10 power minus 3 coulombs. And the two vectors given to you, position vectors, R1 is equal to 3, 2, minus 1 and R2 is equal to minus 1, minus 1, 4, right? And at the point where you have to calculate the charge, it is nothing but Q is equal to 10 nanocoulomb, and I know 1 nanocoulomb is equal to 10 power minus 9 coulombs. Okay, so 10 into 10 power minus 9 coulombs. Then R is equal to 0.03 and 1, right? Yeah, let me apply the Coulomb's law. The very popular Coulomb's law, it is F is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught summation K is equal to 1 to n Qk of R minus Rk by mod R minus Rk whole cube. But it is a generalized expression for n number of charges. But in that problem, I have only the 2 charges, right? Can I substitute where n is equal to 2? Okay, so what are the charges I have? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, by substituting the Q1 of the first, this is for that the force 1 and this is for that the force 2 itself, right? Okay, so can I go for that expression now? R minus R1 is equal to, first I have to subtract the position vectors. What I mean? R minus R1. So 0 minus 3 minus 3, 3 minus 2 1, and 1 minus of minus 1 gives you 2 itself, right? Similarly, can you tell me what is the R minus R2? 0 of minus plus 1, this one, and 3 minus of minus 1, 4, and 1 minus 4, nothing but minus 3, right? Okay, so this is about the subtraction of that position vectors. Can I substitute on that expression now? F is equal to, what is the Q value? 10 into 10 power minus 9 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Can you tell me what is the epsilon naught? It is 1 by 36 pi into 10 power minus 9 farad per meter, or we can write it as 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 farad per meter. We can write any one of this, no problem. So 10 into 10 power minus 9 by 4 pi into 8.854. Calculation means very complex, right? That's why I have to use 1 by 36 pi into 10 power minus 9, and here it is a value Q1. What is the Q? 1 millicoulomb na? 10 power minus 3 minus 2 1 by magnitude whole square. So 3 square 9, 1 square 1, 2 square 4, root of whole power whole cube minus, because it is a minus 2 nanocoulomb na, that's why minus 2 into 10 power minus 3 of the point 1 4 minus 3 and square root of 1 plus 16 plus 9 whole cube, right? I substituted all the values. Here maybe 10 power minus 9 get cancelled, 4 pi and 36 pi cancel. So this is in the denominator. So 20 into that, the numerator it is 90, and take 10 power minus 3 as common to the total bracket. Okay, 90 into 10 power minus 3, remaining it is minus 3 1 2, that is a point, by 9 plus 4 13 14. So root 14 whole cube minus, and remaining what is that? 2 into 2 2, 2 into 4 8, 2 into minus 3 6, minus 6 by, and it is 26, right? 25 plus 1 root 26 whole cube. If I simplify that expression now, finally I got the denominator, it is root 14 whole cube is nothing but 52.383. When I multiply the 90 with that answer, minus 270, 90 into 1 90, 90 into 2s are 180. Similarly, 90 into 2s are 180, 90 into 8s are 720, 90 into 6 are minus 40. But root 26 whole cube is equal to 132.57. Can I simplify this ratio? I got the answer. Finally, I got the answer as f is equal to minus 6.507 into ax minus 3.712 into ay plus 7.503 into az millinewtons. Units of the force, they are the newtons, but here it is a 10 power 3 product is there. Because of that we get millinewtons, right? This is a very important the problem for examination point of view. Thank you.